Peace, family. How you doing, man?
Yo, peace. What's good with it, brother?
Hey, everything is great. No complaints. How you doing? How you doing with being back on the show, man? You feeling good, man? I'm glad you're here.
It's feeling good. You know what I'm saying? It's feeling great to be back. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Well, for y'all don't know, if anybody doesn't know, this is brother Kris L. Let me do you a little introduction.
Mm-hmm.
This brother has put in a lot of his own investment of time in understanding, certain capacities and classes with regards to freeing himself from, the public, and in his own studies and experience in, experiments. How about that? My man has achieved, a passport without using the social, but there's a specific method that he used to do it, including the way that he corresponded with, the agencies when they, had further questioning and stuff like that. The brother's a, award-winning filmmaker. He's very, very talented, and, it's a pleasure to have you back, man. So, thank you, welcome. And then, boom, there's your introduction, player. There you go.
Respect. Peace to the trustees. I give honor to my ancestors as always for, guiding and being with, because what you guys are going to see in that DVD there, this webinar is what I have been up against regularly with the law enforcement here, local law enforcement. So it's a joy to be able to share this with you guys and be able to show proof. I was around an individual, a young man, very good friend of mine, and yesterday, and he was discussing with me about a young lady that was killed by the police, I think somewhere up near Maryland or what have you, about the same thing, registration and what have you. And I sit back and say, we don't have any rights if we don't know them. So what you're going to see in the DVD, I wouldn't suggest you operate against the law enforcement the way I was talking to them. But I would say that if you get to a certain level of understanding about your rights, private versus public, and your capacity and how you stand within that system, that jurisdiction, then you could properly stand on your circle and square, and I guess you could say get away with, if you want to say, with what you're going to see in that DVD that I got away with. So, further proof, which is not on the DVD, you have to be on this show or listening to the recording, is that I was accosted again, like a couple of weeks ago, Houston Police Department, and off of no registration. So prior to that pullover, I got a letter from an advertisement, an advertisement from a law firm that was saying that I had a warrant and I needed to go and take care of that. But if you watch the webinar, you'll see why I didn't go to jail when I was accosted and pulled over by the police department literally a week after receiving that letter from 3 different law firms. So if what I present to them as a valid issue government ID, the passport attained with no social, and they scan it in their system and it comes back blank and they can't do anything. Why? Because I don't have a contract with the state of Texas, the federal government, to do anything called driving. Period. So I would implore, one that's listening, that if you're looking for a potential way to free yourself from the system and really see for yourself in one's journey, who took information that some people are finding success with, have found success with, and some are unsuccessful, but that's based on how you approached it and in their specific, when I say you, meaning their specific approach and their specific journey. For me, I learned about the Trading with the Enemy Act, 1917. I learned about the Foreign Sovereign Immunities Act, and learned about this word called capacity. And those that are in official capacity are not those that are a part of that 14th Amendment jurisdiction. The webinar would teach you that. So I'm honored.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here, family. Definitely. So I got a chance to look at the webinar again, and I I saw you in there. I like the editing, man. The way and I forgot to tell you that, but I like the editing, and I like how you did. The brother in the webinar is edited to where he's showing snippets of an encounter with a police officer being pulled over. And he gave them the passport that he got with no social, and they want his address. He telling me, he said I don't have an address. I don't have a domicile. He said, what's a domicide with a D? Man, I was laughing. I was like, this dude. But the webinar itself, it goes into depth and just for clarity.
And it doesn't just take you through the passport no social. It takes you somewhere else and gives you something to think about. As you go about this, like, he used that to do this. Wait, hold up. Penalty for private use. Better pay attention to it. Those that are in official capacity can use their particular accounts in a certain way to discharge debt, set off debt. The 14th Amendment citizen, you can discharge debt, you can set off debt, but that's a whole nother talk. However, you just got a little nugget right there was kind of in there to a degree. It's a culmination of everything that you've seen on the internet. I probably know about, like how the big bro, Yusuf L say, man, if it's out there about this stuff, I'm more than likely 99% of the time to see it. I done read it. I'm not on his level on the reading, but as far because I come into this information by way of being able to search the internet and knowing how to use the algorithm in a certain way to be able to get or pinpoint what you're looking for. So in that, I've seen a lot, and I know a lot about the usufruct when it comes down to the certain teachings on that. It's everywhere. The birth certificate is involved. It's all one little gamut of information, and once you see it, you'll see how hopefully that it could apply to your life and how you could apply it effectively.
Right, and there's that's what I was just gonna say, that within the webinar itself, it's not just a step-by-step process. This is how you fill out a passport application with no social to get a passport with no social. There's a lot of different aspects that go into the process, and how he was able to rebut some of the presumptions that they presented to him after he made the application. And when he's speaking of capacity, y'all, he's talking about a specific type of standing, and he's coming, those of y'all who listen to the show, I don't really go down this road, when it comes to discharge and, certain capacity with regards to the debtor, the all cap name or stuff like that. I don't really go down this road. But the fact that this brother has his stuff together so tightly, it was like, well, just because I don't go down the road or I'm not familiar enough with it to bring it into the public doesn't mean I can't, bring y'all someone who is familiar with it and allow him to bring it into the public. And that's what this webinar is about, y'all. It's a little over 2.5 hours. It's not light work. He's showing you the documents. He's showing you how he filled them out. He's showing you some of his personal private documents and how he did that. He's just laying it all out on the line. And the reason why, he goes through history and he goes through different acts with regards to policy in the public and stuff like that is because I can say, like, the brother's really good at speaking concisely about a multitude of subjects that all, converge at one point, which is ultimately, your status, and then how you maneuver with that status. So, I do want to be clear, y'all. Like, it's not just, we going to look at the passport. He going to show me how to fill it out. And then I mail it in with the check or whatever. And then they going to mail me back a passport. And it's going to be a national. And it's going to be diplomatic. It's going to be a diplomatic passport. It's not that easy, y'all. You've already been doing business with that entity for long enough that there's an established presumption that you more than likely are going to have to rebut. Some of y'all might, check the webinar out and, it go right through. You be like, oh man, it was a breeze. But I'm just saying, like, you hope for the best, prepare for the worst, and be prepared to, maybe make a rebuttal or something. And of course, those who, get their hands on the webinar through, the foundation will definitely work out, a consultation with, the brother Kris L. If you have any questions after watching the webinar a couple times, get you on the line with the brother, write your questions down and, go do it. All the stuff of being in the private is one thing and learning and all that stuff, but, you're not private unless you are actually actively private and, protecting your privacy and protecting those private rights. You know what I mean? So, I digress a little bit, maybe,
exactly.
But
really, but that's 100.
Yeah.
It's a part of the whole piece. When I'm rolling through the H right now, 59, passing downtown, and I know that not one building downtown Houston is paid for. See, but at the end of the day, new buildings are popping up. If corporations can't make money, then where is it coming from? You see, when we look at the Securities Exchange Act of 33 and 34, and we see the discussion talking about money of exchange and money of account, double bookkeeping entry system, debit credit, public-private, penalty for private use ×2. So it's like when you look at the code, it's there. If you can identify it, those with eyes, let them see. Those with ears, let them hear. Those that got nuts, let them do. Because you're going to get bossed up. They're going to pull their guns on you. You might go to jail, even with the passport. I went to jail, and I was in there 33 hours, and I was resurrected with all power in my hands because they didn't convict me. They just let me go. Hey, miss, it's your lucky day, sir. This doesn't happen. No, because I am the owner of my name. And you have no authority to administrate.
That's part of it too. They'll try to make you feel like you special. Oh yeah, this doesn't happen, and it's your lucky day, and I can't believe this. They just want you to get up out of there, leave them alone. Don't ask no questions. We messed up. We ain't trying to get sued or nothing. Houston Houston said one time they came in, the sheriff came in all nice and stuff after they put him back there for contempt or something. The sheriff came back all nice with his hands up, saying, Mr. L, I just want to know, Mr. Jones, do you have your name copywritten? That's what he wanted to know.
Exactly.
Because Houston put the thing on him, it's bottom line.
If you doing business in the county, you better own it.
If you don't understand this situation with regards to the economics, if you don't understand the situation with regards to the economy, if you don't understand the situation with regards to the system of money that is going on right now, if you don't understand the history, the foundation of, these so-called accounts, this, money of account versus money of exchange system, just watching, I'm sure y'all know, watching one webinar, watching two webinars, watching 8 webinars isn't going to do it. And not to say that this webinar is in any way advanced at all. But it's like, you watch something like this. That's why I want to be clear. I don't want people to be like, yo, so I want the webinar to get the webinar. Be like, yo, I wasn't expecting to have to do that. I didn't expect that I have to know this. I didn't expect, like, it's all connected. It's all connected.
Because you got to know why you're putting down rule-free delivery. You have to know why you're doing that. It's not about just put it there. Yeah, just because it's an option. Know why rule-free delivery needs to be put down there. Know what the zip code is an acronym, and it stands for something. And if you put that there and don't four-corner rule that thing, you're in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
That can be used against you in the court of law. So they play. What I love about this is that they give you information. Once you get to a certain level, and it's not necessarily their agents are giving you the information like they recognize you and it's like, yeah, let me let you know this. No, they're giving you information and they let you know something that might tie up. That's how I really learn. I'm like in the streets with these. So, the dirty cops that's out and about that's just pulling people over so they can get their citation check up. Read your comptroller's report for your state. I've read the city of Houston's, and I know that their main stream of their largest stream of income is utilities. So, what do you know about your state? What do you know about your county? So that you can start doing business with them properly. Because they really do. Some people say that you shouldn't touch that. It ain't your property. Man, you took my footprint. I was not in the capacity to speak for myself. You touched the soul symbolically. You touched my soul. And you have paperwork that suggests that my mother is not my mother.
Isn't that a presumption that you touched the commercial realm before you touched the natural realm? If your feet hit that,
I think that's a presumption
before it hit the ground.
I think it's a presumption personally.
I've seen birth certificates
because
that's
how they operate.
I've seen birth certificates, long forms that say commercial jurisdiction, and then there's a box you can check yes or no. The long form.
Well, I think that in Texas that might be for different states because in Texas, till to this day, it still says where it might say commercial jurisdiction. It might say here in Texas, city limits. Was the child born in the city limits? If you were born in the city limits, you see what I'm saying? Then that's that commercial jurisdiction.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you have right to claim and step up and become majority. See, adults are also minorities.
Right. Because minors of thought. You do not know you do not know where you are. You do not know what you see. Right. You do not know what you hear. And you do not know how to handle your own affairs. So most adults are minors, minorities. And most people think a minority is because you got melanin in your skin. Like a minority is a state of mind. It's a state of mind. It's a mental, or not a psychological. It's a mental disposition.
Mm-hmm.
Being a
minor.
Like
how you said that. What is your mental disposition? Because when you get pulled over, I had a friend discussing with me, and I misunderstood what he was saying. But for a person who's saying, "Oh well, I'm a waiter," because there's someone met in the streets were talking to me about sovereign citizen stuff, and they knew somebody that did it, and they couldn't get a job anywhere, and yeah, because you're not supposed. Number one, man is not supposed to work by the sweat of his brow. Read your spiritual books. Man is not supposed to work by the sweat of his brow. You're supposed to use your mind, your imagination to create an entrepreneurial spirit according to the gifts and talents that the Creator has bestowed upon you. But you're trading those rights to create with your natural God-given talents
for rights to labor. Rights to labor.
Privileges to labor.
Oh, yeah, you're right. He said privileges to labor. The privilege, well, here we go. Let's get real specific. The privilege to apply to labor.
Yeah. To ask to use some of you not even using your God-given talents. It's just get the check, pay your bills.
You got to have a company or at least one business, and multiple streams of income is the pathway to wealth. So, if you're looking to expatriate or, be sovereign or affidavit of non-corporate existence or you're a Moor or whatever, you got to understand how to administer entities, whether public or private. Yeah. Hands down. Put your last name on it and bang it. And ensure that it bangs for multiple generations. Or at least just bang it hard. You don't know Madonna's last name, but Gianni's last name, Gianni Versace's, and his sister's last name and his mom's last name and all that. So, the passport, no SSN, like you're in a certain mind state. You're private. And what you're attempting to do is you're attempting to manifest in the physical realm your spiritual disposition and your mental disposition, which is private, which is I am of the mind to follow my ancestors and, my creator, the gods that, my ancestors, what I'm saying, the religion of my ancestors or whatever you're looking at, Christianity, Jesus Christ, it doesn't matter. I'm no longer under man's law, I'm under God's law. So therefore man's law does not apply. And I'm manifesting that into my physical world. Another, real quick, part of that is, it's tedious going private. And then, correcting your status. It's tedious. You got to call down to the power company and the gas company and the water company, and you got to change the bill from your name and put it into the name of the trust. But then you got to know what you're doing, right? Because a lot of times they're going to send you a letter. And they're going to say, they're going to tell you that we need this for verification. They're going to ask you for a social. They might even try to call you. And what do you say to them? How do you handle that situation in order to keep the account popping, but not, go back into the public in order to remain private? How do you still take part in credit? You need a business. I'm telling you, you need a business. If you ain't got a business and you're looking to go private, you're looking to get a passport, no social. Yeah, like the brother said, more than likely they're gonna try to run your name in the criminal history or something, and it's gonna come back with some sort of weird flag on it. And they were like, "I'm sorry, I don't know what this means, but HR said we can't hire you. It's weird." Yeah. You get the weird code.
And so L, I want to add that my situation is like totally different than most situations. Like, I'm an entrepreneur, so I don't have a job from that perspective. However, when I move about and I move into private, I'm able to be a more powerful trustee for trust for any type of private foundation administration in my private capacity. I have more power to flex when I make economic moves or economic transactions for the trust. Keep that in mind, but my situation is different because I didn't have, the license was expired, the state ID was expired, no voter's registration card. All of these things I had no attachments. So you're going to have to rescind that. You're going to have to really step out. Do with the spiritual context. Read it. It says, come out of her, my people. In certain forms, different here and there, but come out of her, my people. You sin in the land of debt, because debt is sin. And the only way that you can balance the books properly is by being in this capacity. But you're going to have to pick up your trade, my welders. You could start your own welding business. You know, those that don't know clerical positions. Hey, you can be a personal assistant for some entrepreneur like myself, like Soel. We can talk. We can do business. See, we got to have our own economic substance within ourselves, because we're not going to get it from these other corporations. They're just going to continuously take from us our time and energy, because when you get off work, you don't have time to sit back and read and act. But investing in your private education, that's what we do. We've dedicated our lives to do this. I don't want to teach. I told Zoel, I don't want to teach. I just desire to be out here as a foot soldier and, you know, paving the way for people to be able to see that, hey, there's another way to do this. Because I was once stuck thinking that there is another way, but didn't know that there was a way. And now I see it, and I'm sharing it. And once you find any type of victory in your process, it should be shared as well on this particular platform. So it can be that resource. So people can know, hey, man, this stuff works. This is not no pie in the sky. Don't be listening to YouTube. Them is people who have jobs and use their socials and their bank account trying to do this stuff, and it's like you will go to federal prison. They will come at you because you think pro se, but I say pro crea persona.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know the difference, they got you. So I hope if you know those that listen to the recording that they continuously hear what's being said, like listen to it over and over and over again, because it's like, man, the way has. If you could just hear the acts, to go and read those acts, the National the Security Exchange Act, the Foreign Sovereign Immunities Act, the Trading with the Enemy Act, then go to the IRS and see how many type of persons there are, and then see which one you fit into. And if none of that's primarily the base of it. Like once you don't know, you can't see your capacity in it. You can't see your capacity because you think that you are the name, but you're not. You're not a male, you're not a female. You're a man or a woman that operate a legal organization or a legal entity.
Okay. Whoa! Yo, say that again. You're not a what? That what?
You're not a female or a male. You're a man or a woman operating an organization or a legal person with a descriptive gender called male, female.
Mm-hmm. Public and private.
The reason why that gender part is important, they got to pass laws for both. So they got to get paid both ways, off the man and the woman. So they have to be able to distinguish between the two legal persons.
Dropping it.
So the collective organization is what we're talking about, and you have to get your house in order. 2020 is around the corner.
Male and female is plus and minus. Plus and minus deals with energy. Just so y'all know.
Positive.
Negative, positive, and that's currency.
Yes, sir.
So that's the way they're looking at it. They're looking at it as man and woman, as male and female currents somehow in some sort of economic system, whether it's micro, macro.
Well, I mean, exactly, micro, macro. What is commerce? But what it says, the intercourse between organisms.
Right.
Intercourse between organisms.
There's different types of intercourse. There's dialogue intercourse, contractual intercourse, sexual intercourse. And well, most people, when you hear the word intercourse, all you think about is, the thing. But
the most powerful one of them, out of all of them, that sexual transmutative energy that becomes that of spirit, or comes from that which is spirit, the intangible, but that's where the documents come from, because mentis mind, and you are putting together a work of art when you do this private work. That's why there's no one way to do this. It's creative. Like you said, so with Moore's affidavit of corporation, denial of existence. Pick your way.
Just stay away from conjunctive words that you don't understand, like sovereign citizen, stuff like that. Like what is that? Is it oxymoronical? An oxymoron is like, two words that don't belong together. So,
exactly.
Like, a little big guy or something like that. That's oxymoronical. So if you're looking at, you got to pay attention to these words. Really, they're terms. They're also codes. Codes are, what's a code? If I'm speaking in code to my brother Kris, can you hear what I'm saying? Can you understand what I'm saying or what we're saying if we're speaking in code?
I wouldn't understand anyone something is saying unless I really didn't know what they were talking about, because I don't stand under the authority of no one but my creator.
Mm-hmm.
So when the officer comes and asks you, do you understand? No, I don't.
Because he's speaking in code. He's speaking in statutes and code and all this stuff. You got states code, uniform commercial codes, all these different codes.
Right.
What are y'all talking about? Could you please define the definition of the words you just, you got to get real with this stuff.
Yes, sir. Because they looking to take something from you.
It's your life.
They're looking to take something from you. Yeah.
It's your life.
And they'll get off. Why? Because you're a U.S. citizen and you claiming yourself to be black, but if you read People versus Hall, you'll see that those generic terms designating race don't allow you any rights. And this is why they can get away with what they do, because we don't stand up and claim that which is ours. Because a lot of us are afraid to lose what we think is our livelihood. You got to have your Xfinity, man. You got to be able to play that PlayStation when you need to. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is none of that. But what this is if you get in the proper capacity, whatever they throw at you, you can throw back at them and get paid for it with interest. But are you willing to do that diligence, that work? And it's not hard work, because people are here, invest in your private education. I'd have put my life on the line several times with this. So I'm not trying to give it out to anyone that is not willing to put the Federal Reserve notes up to show how serious you are. Why? Because when I went and did the passport, I too put up Federal Reserve notes. But because I invested in my private education, when they came at me, I didn't have to send them no more. I only knew how to send them back what they sent me. It's in the webinar.
And, specifically, it's not, we don't give legal advice. I don't give legal advice. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an attorney. I ain't take the bar. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know how do I take the bar. I wouldn't even know how to sign up. You know what I'm saying? So I can't get legal advice. This isn't legal advice. This webinar and what we're talking about consists of, personal experiences. You take with it or take from it what you can and use it or not use it. But either way, we're talking about, personal experiences and personal results, personal situations. And yes, there are others, we know others, I know others that, experience similar results or the same results that I experienced. But there's a lot of more that don't. Whether it's due to ignorance or lack of knowledge or not even trying or not even knowing. But, there's different levels of this stuff. So, I think that's the most important thing to say, as well as to say that, be clear. Like, my man did not just fill out a passport application and sign it and give it to him and then go home and wait a couple weeks and then get his passport. It's not about just how you fill out the form. there's other processes, procedures that he did, and then he achieved or received a certain result. So, I think y'all get it. I think everybody gets it. You know what I mean? So.
I sure hope so.
Well, yeah, it's
You're gonna see 2020. Go to the airport. You're gonna see. Real ID Act. It's real, bro.
But people are, all this traveling. It's like, look, at this point, once you get right, you won't need to. Those who were private, a lot of times, had a driver or something of the sort. You know what I mean? So and then we got driverless cars that are coming very fast. So I think a lot of stuff that we're dealing with now isn't going to be an issue in the future. But I think that's why it's important to get it taken care of now. If you're looking to get it into a certain capacity, you might want to handle that as soon as possible. But yeah, man, I'm sorry, you were saying something?
No, I was just saying that I was thinking about a book too that I earlier before the call when we spoke briefly. There's a book that I came across. Beautiful book, man. Undue Influence. Love it. It's giving you the breakdown of how they protect it and how the trust of the Johnson & Johnson from the Band-Aids and all of the the Band-Aids and all of that stuff, Johnson & Johnson, that corporation, that family trust operates with the children, all of these things. Like, it's so concise. Like, it's a thick book. Don't be intimidated by it. Here goes some drop, Undue Influence, the Johnson & Johnson fortune, talking about how it was protected through trust.
Yeah, Johnson & Johnson, yep, definitely. Absolutely. Crazy thing. Johnson & Johnson, man, this was years ago. One of the heirs of Johnson & Johnson did some sort of documentary about wealth or something. Man. Long story short, man, I watched the documentary and thought it was interesting. He brought the cameras into one of the meetings of the trustees. Or maybe when the trustees was talking to the family. I don't know. They didn't really announce it. And one of the guys in the room, and then he looked like a consultant or something like that, just by his body language or something, as I recall. He was holding this book. It was called Family Wealth. And I went and got that book, man. And it was like, I think they talked about Johnson. They talked about Johnson & Johnson in there as well, I believe. And they were talking about family trusts and stuff like that. Yeah. And that's why when that attorney was telling me, statutory trusts dissolve after 12 years, well, first he said trust dissolve after 12 years. But that old statutory trust dissolve, okay, what kind of other trusts are there? Because, I'd read books like that, and I had people around me who had, been beneficiaries of, trusts and stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
But, I mean, apparently, one of the Johnsons was so slick to where he go a little nugget in order. They weren't sure why he created 6 trusts for his 6 children and outfitted those trusts with 15,000 shares of Johnson & Johnson each. If that was tax evasion or love for his children.
I mean, if anything, it was tax avoidance. Off top. And it was smart. Instead of giving them straight cash.
And look,
because yeah.
Go ahead, man. It was 6 trusts, OL. It was 6 trusts.
Yep.
5 of them were on Earth. 1 of them had yet to be born yet.
Yep. You can do that. You can do that. You can do that. You can do that in the private.
Invest in your private education. Oh.
Yep.
Shout out to all the private trustees in training. Let's do business. Let's get economics rolling.
Exactly. That's really what it's about. I want to do business with my people. In order for me to do business with my people, the people I do business with that are mine, we all got to be structured correctly. I can't be, taking advantage. Not necessarily taking advantage, but getting. You think we going in 50-50 in this business, but 50-50 to you don't mean the same thing it means to me because I'm structured properly. You know what I mean? Like you over here, struggling, and I'm over here letting the dollar circulate legally. So it's like I just feel like we all need to be structured properly, man. Just kind of like we all know our ABCs. I feel, man. Someday that's gonna come. Maybe not all of us, but most of us or something. But yeah, I want to do business with my people. I'm excited. Everywhere I've gone in the world, my people, we in the lowest economic position. So yeah, status and standing though.
Yes, sir.
Let's not be controversial. We got to stay in honor at all costs. We do not participate in public controversy. I think those are the 2 important rules. And it's hard to get
exactly because it's
hard to be excited. It's hard to be excited next to someone who's not excited at all. You know what I'm saying?
Shit, man. Some of the results that I've seen, I'm like, why is y'all taking so long?
Yeah,
it's like it's fun. It becomes fun.
You be going in a little bit. Yeah. I'm just not antagonizing them. You know what I'm saying? Them boys.
They
boys,
can't mess with me. They can't mess with me. They jump behind me. I didn't ask for that, so you wasted my time. Let me let you know. Hey, look, I have a common law copyright trademark on my name, and I don't have a contract with you, sir. Excuse me, not sir, officer. My bad, officer.
He said domicide. All right, what is it? Admin at welcometothefoundation.com. If you're interested in, getting your hands on the Passport No SSN webinar, like I said, I don't even know. It's like it's 2 hours and 40-something minutes or something. It's packed with information that you probably weren't even thinking that was going to be involved. So, I think it's like a 3-for-1 or something like that. Bottom line is, what are we doing? I don't know. Admin at welcometothefoundation.com. Get you some more information on getting your. We're gonna send them out on DVDs, man. Actual physical DVDs. Send them in the mail. Just give you tracking and all that. Do your dance. And that's just us here at the foundation in conjunction with Brother Kris L. Just looking to circulate more information and different ways of doing things. Maybe you won't necessarily do it the same way. Maybe you'll hear something that'll spark your interest. You'll be like, oh man, I never thought about it like that. Or it's all a learning experience, in my opinion. But it's definitely a dope webinar. It's definitely edited wonderfully, and it does come with documents that are mentioned within the webinar itself. So it's not all in one. You got anything? I don't know. I I like the webinar, man.
I respect. I put some time in that thing.
You did. I like what you did with the logo, with the with the light, I was like, oh, look at that. You know, the logo, I was like, oh man, that's dope. But yeah, then how you threw the footage in there, and you know, you were I think it was very thorough. You know, people, you have to pause it. You know, you have to take notes. You have to pause it and look up what he's talking about. Maybe read an act or something like that. Trading with the Enemy Act or something like that, so you can get caught up, so you know what he's referencing, so you can keep up with the speed before you're going. Because, you know, like I said, it's thorough, but, you know, when you're talking to someone who's kind of, when you watch a master do his thing, what was kind of, you know, nothing to them is amazing to me watching it. Like, wow, man, that dude doing flips, and he's just over here warming up, and you amazed. And, you know, I feel like that's kind of like what's going on in that webinar, man. You know, so you're gonna want it. You're gonna definitely appreciate it.
I think it's a classic.
You're definitely gonna appreciate it. You're gonna appreciate having it on the DVD. You know what I mean? People be like, oh, well, why don't you just make it in a file? Look, it's a large file. I'm telling you, it's over 2 hours, 2.5 hours. You know what I mean? So it's like that's not happening. I'm not, you know, we're finna like just we gonna pay some hosting to host the webinar. No, that's not. We just said you a DVD. Yo, you be good. You be good. Everything's good. You know. So yeah, I mean, I like it. I'm finna watch the webinar like probably like 7 times before. Because, you know, that's the number, right? Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of info in there. And I just like seeing how other people put stuff together.
There's still more to give.
Yeah, I mean, if you're down to do another one, you know, in a little bit, you know, 6 months or so, it would be a pleasure.
Results first, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we got to get some results first.
It would be a pleasure. But yeah, I don't know, man. You want to take some calls? You want to take some, you know, some question and answers? You want to holler at the people? We got about 5.5 minutes left in the broadcast live. We'll probably go over a little bit, you know, but in about 5 minutes and 20 seconds, if you are listening to the show on the internet and you haven't called into the switchboard, you will be disconnected. So if you'd like to continue listening to the rest of the show, I suggest you call in. The call-in number is 424-222-5250. I don't know why it does that. Like, we still doing the show, but if you're online, it cuts you off, and then you can't call in anymore. You call into the show, they'd be like, there's no shows or whatever. You'd be like, I know the show's going on. You got to press the archive. Right. You got to wait until the archives, because it's like, I don't know, it's like the private time. It's the foundation private time. Just playing. So yeah, 424-222-5250. Appreciate you coming on, man. I'm having fun. I'm really having fun, enjoying myself.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and then press 1 if y'all have a question for Kris L with regards to, or the Passport No SSN webinar. Hey, maybe something else you heard him say or something caught your attention. So yeah, let's do this. Look, all right. Look at y'all. 925-4026 will be the first caller. 925-4026. Peace. What's your name? Where you calling from?
How you doing, man? Brian, yeah.
Hey, peace. Brian from the Bay. What's up, man?
How you been, man? Just enjoying. I might have to get with that. Have to see that little video, like you said, because I heard him talk about it last time. I'm like, that's very intriguing. So, that way it protects you. You don't have to deal with these people because they're all, commercial anyway. So, getting your right capacity, you ain't going to have to worry about it. You ain't got to worry about all the madness that you see on the TV. So, so I mean, pretty much I just come, just saying, appreciate what he's doing. And, of course, enjoy what you do. And that's it, bro.
Yeah, man, appreciate you, man. Calling in. Yeah, definitely, As a trustee, the brother did agree to, allow the discount for the trustees. You know what I mean? So, are we still doing that, right, Kris?
And I don't care, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Look, I wouldn't even care. I wouldn't even care if he was like, you got to pay this price, because I understand that, really it ain't, it's paper, so FRN, so people got to get their mind right, and knowledge is really the thing, so get that information.
Yeah, most definitely.
But like I said, I appreciate what y'all doing.
Respect.
All right, man, yeah. Respect, man. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for calling in, man.
All right, man.
All right, peace.
See y'all. Peace.
Yeah, that's a good brother right there. That's Brother Brian from the Bay. I feel like he's been down, I feel like he's been down with the show since day one. If I could recall correctly, you know what I mean? There's a few of those, a few listeners that's been down since day one. There's a few listeners that remember me when I was on the other show. Like, I was listening to you since,
Yeah.
One brother. I think, yeah. Okay, 602-9705. Area code 602-9705. Peace. What's your name? Where you calling from? 602. Hello. Are you skydiving?
Hey, howdy ho. Tower, Phoenix.
Hey, peace, family. How you doing?
Doing very well. I just jumped in about 5 minutes ago, man. I didn't even get a chance to catch the show. Was actually kind of excited, like always. That's why I jumped in and pressed 1. Thought I had something to share.
Well, yeah, go ahead.
Well, first of all, how you doing, man? Thanks again for doing your thing. I can't wait to get back on there and listen to the show that you guys had today. But how you doing over there, So?
I'm doing well. Thank you. How you doing, man? How's everything going?
Oh, man. The same, man. The same. Doing well as can be. Taking care of family, taking care of business. Just happy to be doing it. The thing I was trying to share probably had nothing to do with the subject today. Probably more in the trustee class, trustee training is we decided to stop off on our way home in our travels today at it's a local park in a community, over where we was trying to do a little bit of quick shopping. And most communities have parks, and we stopped off at a park, and right where we pulled up to the park, where they got their 8-foot board with all the rules and regulations and laws and statutes saying, you can do this, you can't do that, these are the fines, these are the penalties. Right next to it was a sign specifically stating that the park was funded and donated, and everything was routed through trust. Through a private trust foundation. It said the name, and it said the trustees, specifically who the trustees on the bottom were, which was the Board of Arizona. So, just seeing how everything operates in and through trust. Everywhere we go, everything is in trust. Everything. And just another level of safety in the area that we want to take our lives and forward. To have our own, let's just say, community, so to speak, or family, a place of safety, and build it under an umbrella of the trust. So, I didn't have a lot to say. Just like I said, I got excited. I pressed 1 today. Anyways, appreciate you, man. You got anything to say about that? We always love to hear your opinion and your experience. So, appreciate you once again, man, for being up here doing your thing, bro. Always.
Oh, man, my pleasure. It's an honor. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yes, sir. And the family listens along all the time, too. Every chance we make it happen, family's more and more involved. Children, they listen at their leisure, and they catch what they catch. And, however it is, we doing what we got to do. We're trying to get our necks broken so that we can get them broken into trustee training. So we're trying to take that for real now. Appreciate you again, man. Thanks again for doing your thing.
Appreciate you. Peace to you. Peace to your family. Peace, family, and you have a great evening. I'll talk to you soon.
You too, brother. Appreciate it. All right.
Peace. Yeah, You ever go into a hospital or university and you ever look at the donor wall? There's donor walls.
I got one for you. You ever walk into a public school and seen the board of trustees?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's the beneficiary here?
And they'd be like, oh, you know, it's on the federal level, everybody's heard of it. It's the Board of Education.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So like this whole thing is set up in trust. Yeah, I see that parks and stuff. I was reading some case law. I like to read cases, y'all. I'm kind of a nerd. I got a lot, so I feel a little overwhelmed right now. But I like to read these cases, man. It's very interesting to me. But I was reading this case law. This guy left his park, this land, and he turned it into a park, but he didn't want certain people of, you know, quote, color on the park. And somebody took the trust to court. And the park was open to the public or something like that. The public doctrine superseded. And they couldn't allow that discrimination. You know what I mean? Even if it was private land and within a private trust, because it was interacting with the public and was open to the public, you know, it couldn't discriminate on certain members of the public. And that's that public and private stuff. But yeah, that park was in a trust.
I think was that Dunbar versus Redfield? No, that wasn't there. I think I know what case. I think I've read that case before.
Yeah, I can't remember that case. There's a lot of cases I can cite, but I can't tell you the citation. I'll be like, yeah,
right.
Like, who was the attorney? He's like, I was, you know, Goatman and Feldman and Harsh and Sweezen. Like, I don't know, man. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I'm not seasoned like Yusuf. Yusuf come off the head with that stuff. Oh yeah, it's 32 U.S. You know, man, he just be killing me. He's cold. He be like, yeah, that's I'm like, man,
yeah,
made me want to go read or something. Yeah, just slick off the dome. 980-8959. 980-8959. Peace. What's your name? Where you calling from?
So what up? What's up, Kris? What's going on? I'm Yale.
Amiel, peace, family. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Good. I'm just I listened to some of what y'all were talking about. I just kind of got in, but I did hear Kris say how fun it is on the other side, and I want to thank him for the motivation because we don't hear that a lot.
Well, I mean, it ain't fun when you don't know what they hitting you with.
Yeah.
You know, gotta have fun with this. It's an offer. You see, you know, when some people look at the bill, they'll look at a summons, a citation, whatever it is. It's a check. It's a check for you. Now, that's a 14th Amendment citizen, though. Official capacity. Oh yeah, you can flip that. So it's about being proficient, not in just one particular aspect of this, because it's like you don't pull one thread that's hanging from a piece of apparel, clothing, a shirt. You don't pull one thread and then like it unwinds the whole shirt. See, there's different compartments in how it's made in, you know, specific parts to where as a whole it's a shirt, but that shirt
that's
is
raw.
sleeve.
That's
you know
raw.
what I'm saying?
That's one of the best descriptions I've heard of, you know, correcting your status from, you know, a private standpoint in the public since I've been in, quote, the conscious community or whatever, since I've been on high frequency. That's one of the best. Yeah, man. You can't just pull one string and everything unravel, man.
Yeah.
You know, there's different parts and threads and different weaves and patterns of the entire sweater, man. I like that. That's raw. I like that for real. For real.
Respect.
My bad. Go ahead.
You know, it's real. But once you see, like, once you know how to put a shirt together, no one tell you how to put a shirt together unless we're talking about a technique that can make your job more efficient. Now we're talking about a craft. And then when you go into, man, I was in a law library, Thurgood Marshall, one of the so-called best in the nation. And when I first got into this information, I went there and I said I was trying to defend myself, so I asked them for a specific set of books for defense attorneys. They said that they told me that there was no such thing, not from the perspective of what I was looking for to protect myself, not represent myself, but present myself in court, a propria persona. They read from the same books. They learn from the same book. Practice pointers are in the same book for prosecutors and the defense. It's the same game. Look at the situation with Nipsey Hussle. How can OJ's prosecutor now be the defender of the guy who so-called killed Nipsey Hussle? Like, well, are you serious? It's the same thing. They can bounce back and forth. But we have to know our stance within it. We're expected to know this. That's why it's there. But because our people suffer for lack of knowledge, because we trust our education to those that don't either look like us or not from here and represent our own interests. It's their interests. They want to teach us in public education and even what we think is private. If it's private and it receives public funds, best believe the curriculum is on somebody else's jurisdiction. Or jurisprudence, how about that? Because if we don't, that as I speak about the compartments of the shirt, that one thread doesn't unravel the whole thing. You got to know what the tax code says about what you're doing. You have to know what banking regulations and what a financial institution is and how you're relative to it. You have to know, what you're not just what the Constitution says of the United States. You have to know what both of them say. The one that says for and of, and see the difference. You need to know your state constitution, and then see that it's relevant. Meaning, what Texas Constitution says, it's a variation of what all the rest of the states of the Union say, just differently. It's all the same thing. There is no money. There's only substance of money by way of the backing of the hypothecation of the people's labor. Options. They did a put option on your labor when you were born. That's it. So now you got to get in a certain capacity so you can take that, so you can re-exchange that stock. And you can revenue whatever currency you start to issue from your estate as the authorized representative or the executor or executrix. And it's done by way of amendment of codicil and proper valid trust instrumentation. Valid trust instrument. Nugget. Lawrence Taylor was one of the coldest outside linebackers in the game, and he wore number 56. I love Form 56s.
Well, it sounds like that webinar is at fire, so.
Yeah.
Man, you gonna get that?
Yeah, I mean,
gonna get that out.
I'm gonna keep it honest, man. The brother, this over my head. It still is a little bit. I've been studying it, but it's still, still a little over my head. I haven't gotten fully, through, all of the prerequisite material that he just points to when we're talking. Sometimes he'll say some stuff, and it'll be from a certain document, and I ain't up on that one. So yeah, I mean, I learned stuff in the webinar. That's why I said I'm gonna watch it like 7 times. I'm gonna watch it like 7 times. But we were laughing at that because that's what we do, me and him inside. And I'm bringing in the public, excuse me, but we repeat information, whether it's visual or audio over and over again. Just because that's, that's part of, how you get information. Repetition is king.
Well, let me ask you this: what's the brother name on the line? Right? What's your name, brother?
Amiel.
Amiel.
Amiel. Cool. All right. So, are you familiar with the Bible, right?
Yes.
All right. You're familiar with Matthew, right?
Somewhat.
Okay.
Depending on what you quote.
Gotcha. Well, not necessarily the whole book, but are you familiar that he was a disciple?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Do you know what his trade was, Matthew?
Was he a tax collector?
There you go. It's interesting. Churches knew was still in the new covenant, and that tax disciple starts it off, and that's what the all caps name Jesus popped up. I've read the Bible twice and never saw it like that until last year. Because a Jewish person put me on that Matthew was a tax collector, and I actually went and looked it up, and I was like, oh, wow. And churches are 501c3s, they're tax exempt, so they're teaching from the tax collector's book under the all caps name Jesus. And that's where it popped up for the first time in the Bible, in the first chapter of Matthew.
Where Jesus' name is in all capital letters. Man, hold on, man. I'm about to look at this right now, man. I believe you, but I trust and verify.
Yeah, it is. It's all caps. I've seen that too. Yeah, it's all caps.
You know what I'm saying? Because before that, they was spelling it right. Jesus Christ, or Jesus, they call him Emmanuel, proper spelling. But then Jesus was born, all caps. Maybe it means something, maybe it means nothing. But I find it real interesting that not a lot of the Bible Belt churches are even talking from the money book, which is the Old Testament. So, and now we're talking about a subject matter where it's like, man, what that got to do with anything? The passport, no social. Don't you go to court? And don't they tell you to swear or affirm on the Bible? Why would you put your life on the line to something that you ain't read and you don't understand? If you don't know that the letter J was not created in the time of the New Testament nor the Old Testament, then you would see that Joshua will be pronounced Yahshua or Yahshua, just like Jesus will be pronounced Yahshua or Yeshua. It's the same person. Moses passed the torch over to Jesus or Yahshua. It's the same individual. They just hijacked it in the New Testament. That's all. And now everyone from the Christian faith is in the New Testament, especially in the Southern Bible Belt. They don't even touch the Old Testament much. Understand that Job didn't have a job. He was an entrepreneur. But the allegory of Job, everything was taken from him. But he had to stand on his circle and square, and then everything was brought back to him. But the thing in that particular book, God said to the devil, Satan, who was roaming upon the corners of earth, looking for whom he may devour, hast thou considered thy servant Job? He was offered. There was an offer made. And Job took the offer with an implied contract. And his wife tried to get him to express it, to collapse the trust. And he would not. It's a code. This is just what I read when I look at it. Like, oh, okay, reading trust law, you can see that that's trust. Just like in Genesis, in the beginning, there was the word. In the trust, there's the word. What is the word? The word is the trust indenture. And the trustee does not move outside of the ambit of that delegated authority. It does everything for the benefit of the beneficiary, and man is the beneficiary. That's why he has dominion. And the only way you have dominion, when you have dominion, you can be domiciled wherever you want to be when you have dominion. Etymology of words. A closed account can be used to set off a discharge debt. Nothing.
You good, family?
Oh yeah, I'm good now. You have to be in official capacity to do that with a closed account?
I would say yes.
No, okay. Because I done heard about people getting locked up over that stuff, so that's why I asked that question.
I mean, I wouldn't know how they did it because I know what I've done and what I've done with it. And you got to see the webinar. Because it's in there. You know what I'm saying? It's not all of it, but, you know, a lot of the instances are in there of what was able to be done in the official capacity. Believe it blew my mind when I actually did it myself and got the real. It's like, oh, wow, this is for real. What you gonna do when they I know I was cornered into a wall by the government, and that's what most people get into this information. They're cornered into a wall by the government, either by way of child support, foreclosure, divorce, or whatever it is. You know, it's a way that you get into this information. And my way, I had to scrap. But I was scrapping with just my instincts from the hood, from the streets, and found out that it's the same game on the corporate level. They just don't call it hood economics. See, that's no paperwork over there. There's no paper trail in hood economics. But in corporate economics, yeah, there's paper trail. And that's what they use to make their so-called money. Get your paper trail right.
Cool. Well, I ain't gonna hold y'all. Maybe y'all take another call or something, but y'all holla at y'all.
What's up?
All right, family.
So,
all right, Amio, man. Peace. Excuse me. Next caller, 404-1924. 404 area code. Last number's 1924. Peace. What's your name? Where you calling from? Please.
Yes, sir, brother. This brother Donald Muhammad calling out the universe, using this device to transmit my voice into y'all good brothers and sisters out there.
Hey, peace, brother.
Boy, that's it.
Appreciate it.
My brother said that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And, brother, I just want to say, man, thank you for this foundation, brother, and putting this information out there. Keep doing what you're doing, brother Soul L, and having amazing guests on like the brother to share that powerful information that he's sharing, man. I definitely want to get that webinar. So I sent you an email, brother, saying let me know what I need to do to get that because I want to watch it 7 times myself.
Right, yeah, absolutely, yeah. I'll get back at you on that email, definitely, most definitely. We'll definitely be in touch.
Sir. And I wanted to share, because you were talking about something earlier, talking about books, and this is a great book that I think that people should read, and I'm quite sure you probably have heard of it. It's called The Art of Passing the Buck. You know,
right?
And
when White House.
That's a powerful book where it talks about that common law trust and how we could, you know, move along and handle business within the trust. You know, with trust certificates, of people are wondering how do you move once you get into your proper capacity. Well, you know, this is how you do it. You know, you set up the trust, and you know those trust certificates, and set up that indentured agreement, and you know how they say with the trust, the definition is, you know, own nothing but control everything. You know, so
right.
That's how it rolls.
Absolutely. Yep.
So,
yeah, that's a great book. You know, Passing the Buck 1, there's volume 1, and then there's a volume 2.
Absolutely.
I'm not sure if there's any volumes after number volume 2, but volume 2, I think from what I understand is they want like a little over $500 on Amazon for that book. Volume 2. Volume 1, you can get for around like $40, $50, I think, maybe cheaper.
Yeah.
Volume 2, they want over $500. But
it is a pretty expensive book, you know. But what was interesting about it is, you know, they didn't want this book to get out there. You know, they came after DOJ, came after he was like, look, you know, you can't put this type of information, can't put this book out there, and they went all the way with them, you know, and shut them down, you know. So that's how powerful it is.
Oh yeah, and I'm sure they, you know, properly published it through, you know, a private entity and you know all that. So, but yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's the way to do it, man. You know, and then there's obviously, we do trustee training over here at the foundation. You know, we got people in the private, so,
Absolutely.
But yeah,
absolutely.
man.
And
I appreciate you. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that trustee training, man, is off the chain, man. And I'll be telling, my family and my people, man, like you said, like the brother said earlier, I don't know what's taking people so long, but everybody got to wake up at their own time, But definitely, man, the trustee training is like, man, the place to be, the place to go. Because like the brother said, it's fun once you understand, you get into your proper status, and you understand how to move. It's a new birth, man. It's so fun, man. So definitely get on the trustee training, no doubt.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
all right. Yeah.
That's all I wanted to share, brother. I'll let you take another call, man. But definitely, I'm looking forward to getting that webinar. And peace to the guys, man. Y'all have a good evening.
Hey, peace. Appreciate it, man. Peace to the guys.
Yes,
yeah.
Respect. Same to you. Peace.
Appreciate the brother calling in, man. Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
Foundation.
I have 1 and 2. The Pass of the Buck, Volume 1 and 2, and very, very good on the information. But it's nothing like being in connection with people that's doing it. That's a part of their daily life. The Passing Works Volume 1 and Volume 2, if you're not really a in-the-book type person, it's going to eat you up. Get to the circle of the people that could help make it more sense to you as well. Because I remember the first time I read it, I was like, I got it because I had, prior experience with trust. But learning about the common law aspect of it and what was the difference, and then saying, oh, okay, well, I get it. But there were still certain things that were missing for me to apply. And it wasn't until I had got over Soel, and I was like, oh, I got it. I see. Okay, bet. Now it makes that one little thing that also, it's not just that he's saying he learned on the webinar. Shoot, when I'm chopping it up for them outside and as we build, it's like, oh, okay, he's helping me connect things on my end because none of us have all the answers. If someone claims that in this information, in this particular movement, community, if you will, I would say, like Andre 3000 say, if a person say real talk, I probably won't trust you. If you come talking about, oh yeah, this is the way. No.
Yeah. I guess we all have something to contribute. And the more of us who get up and get active, and with a common theme and genuine mind frame, man, it gets it may switch every who knows, man. I'm not gonna get to speculating, but yeah, definitely appreciate it. Let's take a couple more calls real quick. 216-2369 area code 216-2369. Peace. What's your name? Where you calling from? Two 216-2369. Oh. That's your phone in your pocket.
Oh, what?
Oh, yeah, peace. What's going on? 216. You there?
What's up with it?
Yep. You on the air, man?
Are you? Peace to
you
the
push
God.
one,
Peace
or
to
you
the
push?
God.
You push one on accident. It's cool. I mean,
yeah.
Peace to the guys.
Yeah, I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing well, brother. How you doing?
That's good. Hey, listening to you two brothers on the line today, I was just wondering. I wondered, did back in the day, in the biblical days, did they ignore all the prophets that were speaking truth the way the way you all are being ignored, because you all, I consider you all modern day prophets. Everybody is always talking about once you speak truth, just like you always say, they don't never want to listen until they backed up into a corner by them folks. But I, for one, appreciate you all. You, Yusuf, the brother on the line now, Trust Christian, I appreciate you all. They say that the definition of an angel is just a messenger. So what's understood, I guess, don't have to be explained. But I am very interested in investing in my private education. So how do I get this DVD?
Just shoot us an email. It's admin@welcometothefoundation.com.
Yeah. Okay. And on top of that, I really wish. Go ahead.
Yeah. You can do that, or welcometothefoundation.com. There's a form where you can contact us and send it to us, and then you can do it from there. But quickest way is admin@welcometothefoundation.com.
And let me make a comment. Speaking on capacity. Now I had an occasion to be invited into a courtroom, and I kept asking the Black Rose, in what capacity was he there? And he told me that he was a judge. And I asked him, well, are you a Article 3 judge, or are you an administrative judge? What type of procedures is this? Because I don't understand, and in order for me to be able to defend myself properly, I have to first know what jurisdiction you are prosecuting me under. And he kept saying, well, actually, he gave me a funny look at first. We actually, what do I mean by what capacity? I said, what capacity? And then he tried to change it over to, well, are you asking my status? No. In what capacity are you here? Are you an administrator? Is this an administrative proceeding or a judicial? He tried to tell me it's a traffic. This is a traffic court. Traffic court. I don't see no traffic court listed in the Constitution. Next thing I know, the deputies rush me.
Oh.
Yeah, they cold rush me.
They put their hands on
you? They rushed me to the back. But when I walked in and the deputy came back there and told me, he said, well, look, we're going to handle your issue when everyone else leaves the courtroom. And I tried to bring it to his attention that when one of his other deputies, when I came into the courtroom, I announced myself to the deputy and told him that I was here on a special appearance and not general, and that I would like to be taken care of. I would like to be called last, and he ignored me. So basically, when they did call me up, we had a little trial, and this was the first one where I was telling them that I'm a traveler instead of a driver. And every single time they tried to, the prosecutor tried to refer to me as a driver, objection. Every time the officer or the prosecutor would say motor vehicle, objection. I also presented Di Quixote's abatement at law with definitions of a traveler, with definitions of a driver, with definitions of a license, traffic, motor vehicle, and automobile. So once the trial was over, like you always say, they think of a way to let me off. The judge said that the prosecutor didn't file something to state that I was convicted of a driving under suspension within the last 3 or 4 years. But I put it on the record, for the record, and on the record that I haven't had no driver's license since 1998. So that contract I have to have rescinded that contract by my actions.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that was done there 20 years ago because they tried to use my driving record against me, which at the time, the last time I had a driving under suspension was in 2007. Well, actually, they just caught up with me in 2007, and I resolved it. And even then, I brought up the fact that if you look at my driving record, I do not put no one at danger. I don't have but I had 27 open driving suspensions. Out of 27, only 25 of them were speeding tickets. There is no DUIs. There is no DWIs. So I was not a danger to the public. You didn't have a compelling public interest to take me off the road. All of my infractions or the reasons why I was stopped was because of equipment failures, like a license plate light or a crack in my windshield, an inch long. Now, how you going to see that until you pull me over? You know what I'm saying? Or no rear view mirror, junk like that. But they did, the Black Road did recognize the fact that out of all my infractions, or every time I was stopped, I did have insurance. And I told them, yeah, insurance is the best invention next to the wheel. Every responsible man should have it. But I just wanted to share that with you, that's all. But like I said, I appreciate you.
Dismissing the case.
Yeah, they dismissed the case. Yeah, they dismissed the case. What he originally stopped me over for was he told me that I was impeding traffic. I was pulled over to the side of the road. It was 3:30 in the morning, coming from Walmart on a 2-lane, not highway, but roadway. And we pulled over to get my bearings together, put the in the GPS, and I had my hazard lights on. So I was on the side of the road, me and my fiance, about 3 minutes, and he told me I was impeding traffic. But when he pulled up to my window, he asked me my name. He asked me, did I need any help? Was it an emergency? I said no. I said, are you okay? Or do you have an emergency? And how can I help you? Because once they turn those red and blue lights on, they're really only supposed to turn them on for emergency purposes. And then he looked at me funny. He was upset because I didn't open my window all the way. And I kept asking me my name. I asked him, I said, well, if I give you any information about me and my name, will you use it against me in a court of law? Well, sir, there is no reason for you to even say that because I'm only asking your name. How could I use your name against you? Well, if you feel like that, why don't you answer me? You know what I'm saying? And I said, well, do you affirm or declare under the penalties of perjury that if I give you any information about me, will you use it against me in a court of law? He walked away, went to his car, and next thing I know, I had three backup, 3 other cars. And then that's when they got forceful, so they pulled me out the car, put me in the back of theirs, wrote me a ticket, and let me go. When he gave me a bond, a paper to sign for a bond, right there on the side of the road. And once I signed it, I put all rights reserved, UCC 1-308. All private rights reserved, without prejudice. UCC 1-308. He asked me what did I mean. I said I'm reserving all my private rights, my unalienable private rights. So, but yeah, like I said, they now that I look back on it, I understand. Well, I recognize why they let me go, why the judge came to that conclusion, because I kept reiterating on the record and for the record that I am not a 14th Amendment citizen, and I am here in the capacity of Sir Juris and in propria persona, pursuant to Federal Rule 17, and I am one of we the people. They let me go. I was shocked because this is one of those municipalities in Cleveland. It's Eastlake and Willoughby. They very, very thirsty. Very, very thirsty. Very thirsty. And once I posed a question in my documentation, interrogatory. The definition of traffic was to impede traffic was to hinder or stop commerce. But I wasn't engaged in commerce. And then I put into evidence my receipt for Walmart, and I said, now, I just come from Walmart at 3 o'clock in the morning. There is no traffic. Was no traffic on the road. Even the officer couldn't honestly say under penalty of perjury that I was impeding traffic because he had another lane to utilize to pass me. But for instance, if I was in a line in Walmart and I was holding up the line, then I would be impeding traffic or commerce. I would be hindering commerce because it wouldn't be, unless another line is open, another customer wouldn't be able to utilize the line to conduct their business. You understand what I'm saying? So he acknowledged it, but he said that was one of the meanings or definitions of impeding traffic. But it's in Ohio statute though. So that's what I was going with. But yeah, like I said, I appreciate you, brothers.
Appreciate you, family. Thanks for calling in. Thanks for sharing with us.
Respect.
No problem.
Appreciate it, family. Peace to the guys, family. All right. What we got here? 718-8092. Peace. What's your name? Where you calling from? Whoa.
Peace. It's Daryl from New York. How you doing? How you doing, Kris? I'm gonna keep it short. Now, when it comes to the passport, they have some people that have dual passports. They can either live in this country or another country. Do you have any experience with that, Kris L?
Dual passport?
Yes, how some people, they have a passport for this country and then they have a passport for another country because they have dual. They fill in papers like they get, like they call it dual citizenship. But I mean, the passport over here, what people are trying to do on this line is not be a citizen. I don't know all the proper have it all in order. But I'm saying, is it possible like the same thing? You can go to another country and rescind their number if they have a number?
Yeah, it's all the same system. Social Security system tying into the youth. It's all the same system, so yeah, you can do that. I don't have personal experience, but it's tied together. Like if in another country you have to give whatever number for your passport, it's the same. It's tied to the same type of system in commerce. So you would just have to read the statutes or their particular rules on their application and see, and reverse engineering. Like if you look at this webinar here and reverse engineer this webinar for something in Germany, if it has a central bank there or a Federal Reserve Bank, more than likely it's the same process.
Okay. Have you ever dealt with anybody have you ever met anybody like from a different country who's private, in their country they private, is like the same thing like over here? It's different. It's more easier. Is it harder?
I don't personally know anyone. I don't know very few people here in the U.S. that's private. So you know what I mean.
Okay.
So it's not to say that there's not a lot out there. I'm just saying my personal experience. So when it comes to the system and the structure, if there's a Federal Reserve Bank there, more than likely it has some type of number that you're going to have to use to identify your citizenship there. But see, with the passport, we're not identifying, using the social to identify the citizenship. They're using the social to link with the Treasury for any debts that's due.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? That's what the
U.S.
passport application do. Yeah. So it's like dual. It's a mirror. It's dual. Like you go and you get the social. I mean, you do the social. You present the social as saying that you're a U.S. citizen, and they're gonna check for your debts. So that whatever country you go to, that child support gonna follow you. That suspended license gonna follow you. See, so you won't be able to get a driver's license. I don't know why one would want to do that, but you wouldn't be able to get a driver's license in another country. Same principle.
Okay. Well, I love you guys, and so L, I'm gonna let you take the next caller. Peace to you, and you, Kris L, too.
Respect. Peace to you, brother.
Okay, peace. So L, you there?
Yeah. I apologize for that. Appreciate you.
Okay, I know you went over your time. I know you went over your time.
They cut us off. But nah, man, thanks, man. Love. Thanks for calling in, man. Appreciate it.
Man.
I'll talk to you
anytime.
soon. Peace.
Okay, peace.
I don't know when they're gonna cut us off now that he talks about it. So let's just end it here if you don't mind. You good with that?
I'm good, bro. I'm good.
You got anything, to say on your way out? Last, final thoughts?
It's private education, man. Let's get on this private education. Let's build our own economy through trust. In God we trust.
Wow. Yeah. I like that. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you coming on. I will definitely have you on again very soon. And, it's always a pleasure. And it's an honor. So, thank you, brother.
The honor is mine, brother. I appreciate the opportunity to share the experience, and hopefully it could help somebody change their life like it changed mine.
Absolutely. And, respect for that. Definitely respect you for that. And, I thank you. So,
Good.
Even for people who maybe don't even get the webinar, who just hearing you speak and hearing you come at it, maybe that helps, so thank you for that as well. So,
Absolutely.
Appreciate it, man. I'll talk to you soon, man. Have a great night, man.
Looking forward. You too.
All right, man. Peace.
All right, peace.
And I will also say peace to you, my very, very, important, audience. I trust that you enjoyed the show, bringing the content. If you're interested in getting your hands on the Passport No SSN webinar with Kris L, you can email us admin@welcometothefoundation.com. admin@welcometothefoundation.com, that is. Once again, excuse me, it's been a long evening. Check out the website, welcometothefoundation.com. Get your PDF on, find the social media pages, book a consultation, whatever you want to do. But definitely, start making moves to not protect your assets, protect your future, protect the future of your heirs and your wealth, trust. Start, correcting your status. Start making moves to put yourself in a better position. So, like the brother was explaining, magically they just tell you, oh, yeah, the prosecutor forgot to file the thing with the thing, so we have to dismiss it. Never seen this before in my life, but, it's dismissed. Okay, yep. Whether you can explain it or not, it is what it is. I've heard a lot of similar stories. I've been in the same situation. You check in first, they call you last, and some weird stuff happens. They can't really explain. They're confused. They're looking through papers, and they got to dismiss the case. But either way, if you've gone this far, you've listened this far into the episode, and you've gone this far into your education, you might as well start taking steps. You can get into trustee training. You can get the webinar for Passport No SSN with Kris L. You can go to welcometothefoundation.com, download all the PDFs, just read all 1 by 1, 2 by 2, 3 by 3, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how you read. But either way, you're going to have to take time to invest in your private education. Stop doing something that you're already doing. And whether or not you can do that or will do that, that's on you. I trust that you can do it. I believe in you. And that's the whole reason why we do this show. That's the whole reason why High Frequency Radio Network is here. Because we believe in y'all. So with that being said, y'all have a great, enjoyable week. Enjoy yourself. I say enjoy yourself a lot, but I mean that. Like, truly enjoy yourself. Like, look around like, I'm having a good time. Like, those moments, because life is short, and you never know. And, do your best to enjoy it. But work hard, man. You can do it. And, let's just change the whole situation. Why not? And just walk around. You know how many people walk around that you might, just cross on the street that you don't even know how they're doing business. They might be. Anyways, y'all, I love y'all. Y'all have a great week. Enjoy yourself. Keep pushing. Push until something happens. And, know that you can do it. And, if you can't do it for you, do it for the ones that you love, the ones you care about. And keep that in mind. You have a great week. Enjoy yourself. 10 things, that you're thankful for before you go to sleep. Just, say them to yourself. Say them out loud. Doesn't matter. Just 10 things. And I'll catch you here next time on High Frequency Radio Network. Thanks for joining us with the Foundation. Peace.
Doing this thing all the way live. High Frequency Radio.